Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to jump into my closet review. This is one that I've been meaning to share for a while now, but just didn't get around to. You know how we do. We get busy and life just be life. But today that's what we're going to do. And I hope today's video can serve as some inspiration for you guys, because my closet is the perfect example of not needing a lot to maximize your space. I got units from IKEA, Target, and even Facebook Marketplace. I will say the key to maximizing your space is to ensure you have really good, precise measurements, because that was super important in finding the right pieces. And you'll see as I go through the closet exactly what I'm talking about. And I will also say, as long as you're not afraid to use a saw, a drill, wood glue, and nail gun. Those were the tools that I used to customize some pieces. And you'll see where I'm speaking of. I had to customize a few pieces to really give this closet the overall feel that I was going for. So without further ado, we're going to jump right in to this closet review. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm currently standing in our primary bath. This is how you enter both my closet and my husband's closet. So as I make my way into the closet, let me just say right here, if you look to the, it's my left, but it may be your right during the video, is 2 IKEA units on one side, is 2 Target units on the other side, and then the little small unit with the bins in it, that's from Facebook Marketplace. So I just took a mix of units. I knew my space, I knew what I needed, and I just worked within the confines of my space and kept searching until I found what would work for me. And then as I turn around this way, I'll show you that some things that I did to make it look a little bit more built in and custom. But these were just additions on the back end once I got all the units in place. So at this first beginning, because here's the doorway, this section right here is where I keep all my skirts. I have a few long skirts and mostly short skirts. And then just a few accessories underneath that. Now, what I did here to make this line up with the IKEA piece, which is this piece right here. This is an IKEA piece, and this over here is an IKEA piece. But a couple things I did to make this look better. So I ordered all of the silver hanging rods. I ordered all of those from Amazon. You just need to know your measurements, and those will be custom cut to your measurements. So be precise when ordering these, because you cannot send those back. Okay, so next to the IKEA piece, I added the shelf up top, and I did that to optimize that storage across the top. And I'll share with you what I keep up there. But here's the skirt section. Now, underneath the skirt, you can see the 2 shelves. Both these shelves were added. I added those, that one and this one, to just give me more storage space. I knew I needed to maximize every space to get the maximum output use for my things. And then underneath that, another one of those Amazon hanging racks. And then these are all slacks. And they don't pull out towards me, as you see in some closets. I would have loved to have that, but it just did not work in my space. Now, one thing I will say, and you probably heard this 1,000 times over, go for the some type uniform hanger, because it will help you absolutely maximize your space. The little thin velvet hangers is what I'm using. And then I use a different kind of hanger for my jeans, and I'll share that with you. Underneath my pants is another shelf. And if you notice, I added this shelf. The IKEA pieces, you have a board on top. But These units all and the IKEA units are all sitting on a platform that I ended up just trimming out to give it one uniform look. So those were just some little things that I had to do to make it look like it was a little bit more custom. But obviously you can tell it's not a custom closet, but it works for me. Okay, next section. This is how I store my purses. You see the little S hooks. That's what I call them. I don't remember the actual formal name of them, but I got those from Amazon. I saw those on somebody's video, and it's a great way to store your purses. I can see everything. It's easy for me to get up there and get what I need. The next section is more so just blouses, hanging storage. Again, get the uniform hangers so you can maximize the space. And then underneath the blouses is how I store all of my jeans. Now, I mentioned a different hanger. Let me see if I can find an empty one and I'll show you. So here's the kind of hanger that I use for my jeans. I get these off Amazon and it makes it really easy. You just turn them in like this, fold your pants, slide them across it, and it just makes it easy to see and to pull them out when you need them. Okay, underneath the jeans, I do not store any shoes or anything like that underneath my jeans. This ladder I do keep folded up in here because I do have some tall areas that I can't get to standing on the floor. So I do keep this ladder here to make it easy to reach those things. This section, my second IKEA piece, is where I keep most of my dresses. I do have a couple of sweatshirts and a tracksuit or a sweatsuit hanging as well, but this is where most of just my regular dresses are hung up. And then underneath that, I do have shoes stored underneath there. A few heels back in the back, mules and things of that nature. And then I do have another section of purses, and that was a shelf that I also put in. This unit did not come with that extra shelf, so I had to purchase those and cut those. So that was what I added. When I purchased my IKEA units, I only purchased the shelf, just the shelf, and I think these are the 29-inch wide. Okay, the next section, I also did the same thing over here, Amazon railing, but I added the shelf. And the reason I did that is I'm going to bag out so you guys can see this. So if you look up top, that's how I store all of my hats. So this side has my baseball style hats. And then you go into my fedora style hats. But I put shelving on top to match up with the IKEA units so that I could maximize that space up top. And that's just what worked for me. And then underneath my longer hanging items, which is in this side, is where I store my taller boots. So although those items are longer, it still gave me plenty space to keep my boots underneath. Okay. And then we'll move into this section, which this dresser fits perfectly back here. This was my mom's, and it was a piece that when she passed away, I just knew I wanted. Again, took my measurements, and it worked perfectly. And I did get this dresser put in here before we put all these units and things like that in. So I knew it would work. I had all of my measurements, and it is something that I probably will always have in this space. I couldn't ask for anything better. Okay, so we'll go across the dresser. So here it's just some miscellaneous items inside of this white bin, as well as some things up there. And then this lamp. I don't think I've ever used this thing. It's just more so here for decor. And then underneath the lamp is where I store all of my rings and earrings and things of that nature. These bins, I have 5 of these. They are from Home Goods. And I just store a lot of miscellaneous type stuff in here. The bottom one is just mostly like little pouches that when you carry a larger purse, just, just organize your stuff and make it not so hard to find in your purse. This one is, these 2 front sections are brooches that I use for, not sure if you guys have seen the trending junk ties and the patchwork jackets. So that's what I use those for. I've made a few of those. And then in here is just mostly travel essentials. Real sleek, easy to put in your purse or a travel bag. This is the potpourri spray, lip balm. These are hand sanitizers. Really sleek, easy to carry in your purse. These are from Dollar Tree. This scent and this scent, these are from Dollar Tree. If you have not tried those, and they tend to have about 3 or 4 different scents, but I love those. This one is the Beeswax brand and it's from Amazon, but again, really sleek, easy to carry in your purse. These, not sure if you guys have seen these. If you haven't, I totally recommend these. They are travel wash towels, really compact, easy to throw in your travel bag. And once you wet them, they expand to a full-size wash towel. So I love those. I hate using the hotel towels, especially on my face. So these just make it perfect. And then I have back there some stain removers and the little tush wipes. And those are from Amazon as well. Again, easy things to throw in your purse or travel bag. So that's what's in there. Okay, this is how I store most of my belts. I just roll those and stick them in. So that bin is full of belts. This is just some extra glasses, a few pieces of jewelry. Then I have some miscellaneous stuff down here. My boots on the ground fan, some suspenders. That's something that I want to try, the junk suspenders. So that's a project that I'm going to be working on here shortly. And then up top, I have some more jewelry. Most of my everyday type necklaces, other than those back there, bracelets. And so I just keep that. That's the stuff that I reach for often. And then here's my girl. I use her as a part of the decor. She stays out. And then I have some more jewelry. This is a cool way, guys, to store some necklaces. So that's just a wooden hanger. I need to touch up the paint, but that's a wooden hanger. And you can see the little hooks. You just screw those in, and it gives you a perfect solution to store your necklaces. And then you can also use it as decor, as I've done here. And then I have another one there. And then one side of this unit, I just stuck some hooks up there, and that's just houses all of my bathrobes. So that's this side. And then above the dresser is these 3 pictures that I absolutely love. I got these from TJ Maxx. All 3 at the same time. So how lucky was I to stumble on those? And they match perfectly with the dresser. She's got the pixie cut. She's got the natural fro style. And then she's got the hair wrap on. Love those. Okay, we're going to make our way down the other side. This side is primarily shoe storage, but I do have a few other items here. So this is how I store all of my sneakers. So same thing on this side. I built a platform. I took my measurements. I knew the length of the units, built a platform, and then trimmed it out. Trimmed it out to make it look a little bit more uniform in one piece. At some point, I will go back and put a trim piece here to make this look like, one unit. So I still got a little bit of work to do, but I want to wait until I got everything in place because I just recently purchased these bins. Used to sit on top of these units, this one and that one, but I just recently purchased these two things from Target. And I wanted something because that was a lot of space between the top of this unit and the ceiling. So I wanted something to take up some of that space and also give me some additional storage. Again, took my measurements and went sourcing, and I found these on Target online, and that's what I purchased, and they work perfectly. So they allowed me to put a few more purses up there, makeup bag, and then up top, those bins, I just put them on top of those. And in those, I store like out of season shoes. So currently, I've got sandals, flip flops, some heels that I don't wear quite as often. They're all tucked away up there. It's time for me to rotate. So I need to work on that in the next couple of days or week. All right, again, I do have some more jewelry here. My watches. These are things that I reach for quite often. All of my sneakers. This is the little unit that I got from Facebook Marketplace. I had plenty of these bins from my old house, and I knew that I still wanted to use those because they absolutely helped me maximize storage, gave me a lot of additional space. So as you can see, I have them labeled. I got all my tank tops in here. I got all of my just basically short sleeves tops. I have t-shirts in one and then long sleeve shirts in the other. Okay, this side, all of my sneakers, some additional sneakers. Now, what I did in these two units where the sneakers are housed, you can see the difference between the distance between this shelf and this shelf. But if you look down, you see how that one's much closer. Again, I had extra space and I knew that I could maximize that. So I bought some additional shelving and I just cut them and put those in to maximize that space. So as you see, I don't need to purchase any more sneakers. It's full. So we've got some just miscellaneous stuff there, a couple pieces of decor. And then this is how I store all of my perfume. And here is where I keep all of my sunglasses. That's how I store all of my sunglasses. And then up top on that is just all of the different cases. So anytime I want to put a pair of sunglasses in my purse, I just grab a case, pick out a pair of sunglasses, drop them in, and I'm on the go. Okay, these I want to share with you guys as well. So this is another example of the disposable wash towels. So if I open this up, if I can get it open, it opens into a full wash towel, much like the ones that I shared over here, except these are not as compact for traveling. So these are more for everyday use. So I keep these out up here, and this is what I use to wash my face on a daily basis. And I get these from TJ Maxx or Marshalls for the most part. They do have them on Amazon. And if I can find some, I'll link them for you. And then once I purchased these units from Target, I realized I had a little bit of space between, because this one is taller. So I realized I had a little bit of space between this shelf and this one. So it just worked out perfectly is where I store my larger wallets at. And then I had a little crack here between this one and this one. Perfect for my Louis wallet. And then it gives me a little bit more storage that I can put a few other things there if I need to. So I got a little bit of room to grow. It's about maxed out, but got a little bit of room here and there. Okay, and then as I make my way back out, here's another shoe rack. This came from Amazon. I had some space here, and again, I try to maximize every ounce of space. Y'all know us girls now. We need some space. So as I got the specs on that little corner, it allowed me the perfect amount of room for my hamper and this additional little shoe storage. So I did that. And then to give me a few more little spots, I added some hooks on the side of this little piece of storage. And that's where I just throw, you know, some hats that I may wear more often than the ones that are stored up top. And my mirror that I can check myself when I'm dressing. And then on this side is another hook where I just keep everyday jacket, some ties. I'm working on a couple projects for the junk ties, my travel bag. And that's what that looks like. This is a project I worked on a couple weeks ago. One of the patchwork jackets. So I'm a craft type person. I love doing crafts and things of that nature. So that's that. And that's it for the most part. I think I've shared all of my closet with you guys. Anybody got any questions about anything you see? Just let me know. And I'll try to answer those. I'll link everything that I can link. And that is it. I do keep the ladder in here. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. I do keep the ladder in here to reach the things up top. So it works for me. All right, guys. That's it. Let me know what you think. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, guys. That's it. That wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you see anything in this closet that you got questions about, don't hesitate to drop your questions in the comment section, and I'll try my best to answer them. And also, I will link everything that I can find that I used. And if I can't find something that I actually used, I'll try to find something similar to link for you. But thanks for hanging out with me. I know you guys value your time, and so do I. I appreciate it. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.